this probably now my favorite author, my favorite book. And it's funny because in my opinion, really, it's just this one book is the one great book that this author wrote. This is Carson McCullers, and I almost think that somehow in these days she's not even referred to that much. This is a biography of her. It's always mentioned she was a very self-absorbed, sometimes they say she wasn't a very good person. She had all kinds of health problems and drank too much, which used to be the prerequisite of being a big author in the mid-20th century. The main, in which I think the only major, the great major work that she was able to achieve during her lifetime was, I'm trying to get to the title page here. Here we go. The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. All-time great title there. I know these are the complete novels, you know, the Reflections in a Golden Eye, Ballad of a Sad Cafe, Member of the Wedding, Clock Without Hands. Probably the biggest, the next greatest work is Member of the Wedding, but really in that McCullers takes one aspect of The Heart as a Lonely Hunter, one character, and expands the story to just be about that one character. So I hope I don't think there's many like McCullers fans out there except me, but if they are, they might get in an argument with me over how great her works are. But specifically, The Heart as a Lonely Hunter is tremendous and probably my favorite work. It's structured about people in the South. Like Faulkner, it was originally considered to be Southern Gothic, meaning it was centered around outcasts and strange people who were outside of society and who were lonely. And all these people are together in the same town, in the same place, and the narrative moves back and forth between each character. And they interconnect a bit sometimes, but they're all together, but still isolated and apart. You know, this was also one of the words, I think she wrote it when she was 23, you know, an astounding achievement. This is, you know, the depths of the characters. There's the black guy who was trying to bring freedom to his people in the very prejudiced South, and who had all these ideas about atheism and communism, and tried to raise up his kids to take on his legacy, but they don't care. And you know, the little girl who's obviously based on Carson McCullers, who's alone in the town and growing up. Just that tale alone in this work is an amazing story of, you know, a girl from being a little girl to growing up to kind of being a woman, and the kind of the excitement and then the boredom of it. And then there are other characters too. There's the cafe owner who loses his wife, and all the ancillary characters. But I really can't recommend it enough. You know, with Faulkner is so dense and complex. I love Faulkner, and it's meant a lot to me, but I wouldn't recommend that to just like, hey, I'd like to read a book. If you'd like to read a book, seek out The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. It's very wonderful and very accessible. And in the patchwork of characters back and forth in the book, what am I trying to say here? I got it. In the patchwork of characters going back and forth. See, this isn't scripted at all. Each of the people, each time you read it, a different character will stand out. So I remember reading this when I was very young. There was one character, the little girl's story, that stood out. Then you read it the next time you're in college, and then the story of the black communist guy who's trying to raise up his people stands out. Then later on, other things happen in my life and identify with the story of the cafe owner who lost his wife. And then later on, there's the revolutionary who wants to connect with people and have a revolution, but all he can do is fight. I think we all will identify with those. But this is definitely well worth reading. When I started my big novel, I went through this book and I made an Excel sheet. Somewhere on my YouTube channel there is a video about this where I identified each chapter, because she goes back and forth, checkerboards between her main characters in the book. And I put it in an Excel sheet of what's happening and color-coded so I can see the pattern that she was using to create her book, because it's quite a complex thing when you're trying to write. It's easy when you're just writing one story from one point of view, but if you've got like 6 main characters and you're ping-ponging back and forth, it's another thing entirely. And so here's a sacrilege that in the greatest book that I love, Heart is a Lonely Hunter, I'll bring up my book. It's a multi-character book. There are still unknown places. This is about people going off to the furthest places in the world, disillusioned by the promises of the modern world and the causes we're supposed to lay down and die for. And if you want to buy it, it's on Amazon Kindle, and also in Thailand you can get it at Books Kinokuniya and Asia Books. So if you read it, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Bye.